Massive cosign from Gerard right here on Radio 1. That is Eagles and Nerve Endings from a band that we've supported on this show, and it's great to see that it's made its way to musicians and music fans and everybody as well, and especially in a situation whereby normally when you're making music, I'd imagine, like when you're in My Chemical Romance or working on your solo record, it's hard to embrace something new because you're so engrossed in what you're doing with your friends. It's important to absorb a minimal amount of distraction, I'd imagine.
Yeah, it's hard. One of the things that's really hard is, especially when you're working on music, like, I tend to not listen to any music unless it's not super old, but like 70s or early 80s.
Reflective of something.
Yeah, exactly. Like Teenage Fan Club, 90s, that kind of thing. That's the cutoff. Like, I can't really listen to it. Yeah, it has to be relative to what I'm working on. But yeah, I can't discover new stuff. So it's always nice to finish a project and then, like, all right, well, what happened this last couple years in music? Let me check it out.
Was there a little bit of that just generally, like when you popped out of the canon and you realized that, okay, we've made this decision, we've made this announcement, it's good. You've kind of got a plan about what you want to do in the future, with your art, with your writing and stuff, and also with your music. Was there a sort of sense of, like, was there a decompression? Because you did not stop as a band.
Yeah,
and by the way, ambitious albums, ambitious tours, big ambition across the board.
I know. There was a decompression. There was for me, I can only speak for me, obviously. I processed a lot. I was able to then think about all the moments that happened and be like, oh, that happened. Oh, okay. That was amazing. I don't really remember that, but that was awesome. And wow, we played that. There was a lot of people there. So there was a lot of that. And it made me more proud of it, and it made me more proud to end it in a lot of ways because I was like, this was really special, and it'll stay special now.
God, yeah, man. I mean, what an amazing ride, dude. I mean, it's so good to have Action Cat because we can now, like, get your voice and your songs back on radio, and you're never sure where that's going to happen. But, I mean, we had such a thrill playing the MCR stuff as well through the years. And, you do realize there is a romance that's associated with a time period, and perhaps you got it right. Some bands, I mean, look what the Beatles achieved in their amount of time. Look what some of these great bands, since you've got your time period, you make it happen.
Yeah.
Do new things in life.
Yeah, you do. You should always be doing new things and changing and growing as a human being and stuff. And yeah, we accomplished, like, mission accomplished.
Totally.
That's what we did,
Totally. And then some.
Yeah. And there was a lot of extra.
Shrine on Radio 1, back-to-back brand new music. Myself and Gerard Way, of course, is back in the UK with new music in this forthcoming solo album. Do you have an album title yet?
Not yet.
Not yet. Still thinking about it?
I'm still, I'm not overthinking it. I'm just kind of waiting for it all to gel. I'm working on artwork and, all the tracks have their final titles and stuff.
So let's talk about the art, because you are incredible, man. I mean, the cartoon strips that you work on and you're full of ideas. And, I mean, do you wait for inspiration to strike you, or do you approach it? I know that, there are certain people who approach it almost, they get up, they put their suit on, they go to work, they create no matter whether it's inspiring or not, and they deal block by block. How do you approach what you're doing?
I had to learn how to do that. Like, if I was going to have a happy life and be a good husband and a good dad, I had to actually figure out how I was going to get up every day at a certain time and pull the rabbit out of the hat, or try until it happened. If it didn't happen, I always had tomorrow, and I'd try again, and I'd try again.
Well, I always believe you can take something from somewhere. Even if you don't feel like you've cracked the inspiration, there's something there.
It all leads you there. Every little bit is going to lead you there. What did Chuck Close say? I think he said inspiration is for amateurs.
That's going in the quote book.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
And he is basically right. I was running off that for so many years that I was like, I was a dad and I was still trying to work till like 3 a.m. instead. That's no good. Like, that was no good. I had to learn. I wake up, I take her to school, I have coffee, I start my day.
Love it.
I pick her up.
Love it.
Me and Lynn are a team. We make it happen.
Dude, I'm the same. And it's so important you get that balance right, because I think you're right. Sometimes you're given a free pass in the creative industry because you have to work when you have to work, when it hits you and everything else. But there are sacrifices there sometimes. And I think if you talk to anyone who's dedicated themselves to their art, I'm not saying that it's one is better than the other, there's any right or wrong. It's up to the individual.
Right.
Because I've got friends who will say, nothing will come between me and music, and my family know that.
Right.
It's a huge sacrifice, though. And I think, if you're like, us, and I think we can both agree we can bond on this.
Yeah.
You've got to get the balance right.
You have to, because then when I'm not doing it, I'm fully present when I'm with them.
Yeah.
And I have a great frigging time, you know? Like, my weekends are awesome because I put in a good work week. I'm proud of that.
What kind of dad are you?
I don't know. What kind of dad am I?
Well, yeah, but come on, she's a girl, so come on, you're soft, right?
Oh my, yeah, I am, and I tried so hard to be firm, and she gets away with so much. I'm ashamed of myself, really. I'm ashamed. But I'm imagination dad. I'm
Right.
like, today we're gonna learn how to play Dungeons and Dragons, and today I'm gonna be a knight, and you're gonna be a knight, and we're gonna beat a dragon up. I mean, it's, I take her to the comic book store every Sunday. I let her pick out comics. I read them to her.
Amazing.
So I'm trying to get her into that stuff.
Speaking of comics, we're now going to go into Art on Your Sleeve, which is, man, that worked nicely. That was almost a professional radio segue. This is one of my favorite rounds we've ever done in Versus History.
This is a great category.
We've never done it before. It's a brilliant one. James, who chose it, big ups. So, of course, for many people who are listening to this right now, album artwork doesn't mean as much because generally you see it's in this kind of micro format on a computer screen, and you very rarely double click on it to take a closer look, and you're just looking for the songs. That's the modern way. But there was a time when album artwork was the door.
Yeah.
That was the gateway.
Yep.
When you saw something in the store, even if you'd never heard it before, as we heard about Eagles before, it was the first port of entry for your imagination to run wild, and it really informed you. What is it about Pulp and This Is Hardcore?
It is such an intense album cover.
It really is.
Well, first of all, it's shot beautifully. The colors are great. What is implied by this photo is this person alive?
Yeah.
Are they dead?
Yeah.
I don't know. You can't tell. And the way that the text is laid right over the figure, it's just so intense. Everything about it is pretty much perfect. Graphic design-wise, photography-wise, it's a gorgeous piece of art.
Hardcore, an incredible song from an album with, and I have to agree, one of the most striking cover art images ever. A difficult record for that band off the back of their most successful 2 years, and I love that about Pulp as they came out and went, well, this is hardcore.
Me too. I love in the first track he says, you're going to like it, but not a lot.
So
that
cool.
just says everything about what they were about.
So knowing, and I mean, I'm so glad that they've come back, and their reunion amongst many, feels like one of those ones that is done for absolutely the right reason,
yes,
and has been treated with the correct amount of reverence.
Absolutely.
An amazing record. Well, for me, so I was just raised by my brother and his record collection, his friend's record collection, and it was great. It was a great introduction. All the classics were there, I discovered my own real taste around, basically from Rick Rubin.
Okay.
All the records that he produced early on were the ones that just informed me as to who I was.
That's a good place to go.
It's nice, actually, because this coming Monday, we've got this interview with Rick Rubin going out next week on Radio 1 and on the iPlay, which I got a chance to do, and that was just a lifelong moment for me. But the record that really kind of grabbed me was Beastie Boys. And License to Ill.
Yeah.
The album cover, for a start, is gatefold.
Yeah.
So you get this plane that's kind of like, well, it's fine. And then you open up, oh, it's not so fine.
Right.
And it was just, it looked like something that one of your talented mates could have done on a piece of paper at lunchtime.
Yeah.
It wasn't particularly professionally drawn. It wasn't even particularly graphed.
Yeah, I wonder what the target audience was for that image.
Well, it would seem by the amount of record sales, everybody.
Yeah.
Beastie Boys, License to Ill, she's crafty. Did you like Beastie Boys growing up?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't they raise us? They kind of raised me in a weird way.
I really got into it. Yeah, I really got into them on Ill Communication. But I had that. I have License to Ill. And then, of course, Paul's Boutique, which I rediscovered when Ill Communication came out, just like a lot of people.
Yeah, absolutely amazing band, and that one is my choice for album artwork. Incredible. So unfortunately, we're nearing the end of the verses, but it's been so much fun to see you again, man.
I know. I missed you. I miss being back here.
Don't be a stranger. I won't. RNL, right?
Oh yeah, I'll be here.
So, needless to say, there is no other victor but yourself, and talk us through this final track. We're going to play Wire.
Ooh. Wire, I Am the Fly. This is my favorite Wire song.
For people who don't know Wire, for fans of yours who want to discover this, what is the connection, or who are Wire for them?
Well, this is what I want in winning, what I wanted people to discover for themselves, because I can't think of a time where I heard Wire on the radio. So I would like to play you Wire. It's because I won. Here's Wire on the radio.